Hey everyone, welcome, welcome. I have a special Divine Feminine reading for you right now. Messages from Spirit ahead of this new moon that we have happening on the 31st. Now, I'm no expert about what's been happening celestially. I'm not an astrologer and I don't pretend to be, but I do have a bit of an interest in it, and I've heard a few whisperings about it being pretty much the start of a completely new age, the Age of Aquarius. And being an Aquarius myself, a double Aquarius, I was quite guided to I really wanted to do a reading. What I wanted to do was because most, if not pretty much all of the viewers at the moment seem to be feminine, females, divine feminines. So I am doing a special reading for the divine feminine. I'm also very guided to do it, and I feel very nudged, very pushed to kind of ask for some advice, and that's what I've done. I've already prayed over the cards, as I always do before doing the reading. Incidentally, do let me know if you'd be interested to actually hear me do the prayer, or what I do before I actually do the reading. Do let me know in the comments. I read all of the comments. The comments are curated. If you don't see your comment in the comments, please don't take it personally. I read absolutely all of them, and 99.9 recurring of them are really, really positive, and lovely, and that's why they do get put on. Sometimes I don't if I feel like it's a personal message to me and it's not really particularly going to benefit everybody else and spread the good vibes, I don't put it out there. So that would be why. So just a quick note about that. And also, I don't really respond to everything personally right now, just because it's a bit, I'm pretty much on the go. My days are a little bit, my movements are a little bit erratic at the moment, unpredictable. What I will do, if anybody has a question, do put the comment up there. Do send me the comment, and I will try my very best to address it in following posts. Please don't ask personal questions though, because that's what the readings are for, and you can ask me when I offer private readings again. So, which I'm not doing at the moment. I will probably do it again in I don't know, maybe next month. So thank you everyone who's purchased a reading. I will be doing those for you on Wednesday. So without further ado, here's the reading. So this is specifically with advice and messages for the divine feminine with regards to this very important new moon that is going to happen. First of all, and this is the Queen of Heaven spread, so for those of you who don't know, it's the past, present, future advice, how you feel towards the connection. This is kind of, usually it's messages from the divine masculine, what you'd like to say to the divine masculine, but this time it's kind of a bit of both. It's a bit of a complex one this time, but I'll explain it later. And that's what I intuited from when the cards came out. This is what you've been doing. Challenges, and this is what you've been doing well, and the underlying energies are over here. So, without further ado, I'd just like to point out that look at the amount of court cards that are here. Nearly everything is a court card and has everything bar one card. And that came out in conjunction with another that was a card with a human being on it. Every single card has a human being on it. Okay, so that's really, really, really important. So that just goes to show what an important time it is for the Earth right now at this juncture. This is a reading for the new moon, and this is the start of a new era. And many people believe, whether you believe it or not, is that's up to you. I'm not entirely, and it doesn't matter what your opinion is on it, but many people do believe that it's a time when people that consider themselves light workers or anything related to that, or anyone that wants to make a difference and usher in the new age, this is kind of the start of that. And I am seeing that a lot of progress is going to be made in the physical world, and this is very much a time of reflection and deciding where it is that you want to go in the future. So for the past position, we've got the Hermit. And this is just a testament to how much self-reflection and inner mastery, inner progress the divine feminine has made. you really have shone a light on things that you weren't aware of before. It's very much about making the unconscious conscious, really shining a light on all of those unconscious patterns that made you react to things rather than respond. And that's been very much overcome, because right now you are much more in a very strengthened position. Because if you look at the hermit, aside from being quite isolated, he's dressed very, very humbly. He's kind of very solitary. So it was all about, you know, the hermit is very much all about doing things for himself, for his own self-mastery. And that's not selfish at all. That's, in fact, a very, very, very noble. It's probably the best thing everyone can do. Everyone needs to do it at some time, at the right times. And that's what was done. But the energy right now is very different. It's the King of Rods. And the king is someone who acts on behalf. He's an ambassador in many ways. He has this kind of exemplary role. He is the one that everyone looks to for leadership. He's the ultimate leader. So the King of Rods is a real doer. The rods can symbolize everything from communication to obviously energy. And it's a real empowerment and clearing of the energy, a strengthening of the energy. Many people are also going to receive lots of downloads to help them get into this stage at the moment. And for me, I always say, all of the court cards, especially the kings and the queens, are all about boundaries. So I'm really hearing at the moment, take stock of your energy, cleanse your energy, and be very aware of it. Be mindful of how you are on every level. Energy is kind of where a lot of these things start, because it's also what we are least aware of. We're most aware of, if you take, you know, the pentacles to represent the body, that's the most kind of gross representation of it. And then the emotions and the mind are very, very connected. They're a very similar sort of energy, but we can be aware of that. We're much less aware of our thoughts, but it requires a completely different level of perception to really perceive the energies. And it's all about being aware of the energies right now. Where are you going to be in the future? You've got the three of rods, and this is very much what I really feel about this is the sense of being ready. This is kind of really being ready and knowing that a certain destiny awaits you, and you are just completely geared up. I'm really seeing all of the foliage growing from these three rods. And recently I've been seeing 111 quite a lot, which is, you know, 111, which is three, but also that the very symbology of it, the very, very the numeric characters look like three rods. So when this portal or gate or, you know, time frame happens, it's really going to be a point where you see your ships coming in and you really take stock of what it is that you need to do. You see your path. What you need to do is going to become clear, and what you are, the real, if you think about finding a purpose, it's going to become much, much, much more apparent. You're going to see what it is that you need to do. You're going to be able to identify any challenges. You're going to be able to see the gifts that are coming in for you, the possibilities that are open for you. It's all about seeing those possibilities. And that's what you're doing at the moment. You've done your research, you've established who it is that you are, and you're gonna very, very clear, very soon, it's going to become clear to you what it is that you need to do. Advice for you is the King of Swords and mirroring the King of Rods, and they're both looking in the same direction. They're very aligned at the moment. So it's to get your thoughts aligned as much as possible with those energies. And if you don't know how to do that consciously, just make sure that you cut away all the things that no longer serve you. Again, you can see a mirroring of all this foliage growing around the King of Swords. So even though he's very much about cutting things away, he's also about nurturing what is keeping what is alive and needing to be allowed to grow, but cutting away that which needs to be harvested, cutting away that which is dead. And so it's like a dual thing, as you can see with the harvest. You can see what's in his hand. It's almost like he's holding the shaft of wheat or whatever that is, barley, rye, I don't know, but the crop even more clearly than to me. It looks like the sword is behind the actual crop. So it's also a time of harvest. It's going to very much be a time of harvest. So plant your seeds, think about what it is that you want to harvest in the future, and also don't be afraid to really receive and reap the benefits of the good actions that you've done in the past as well. So do collect your dues, but do it in a very, very balanced way. And this is also very potent with regards to many people who are going to hear from their counterparts. So this is very much about maintaining those boundaries. You know that the energy right now might be quite fiery. You have gone through the period of solitude. You're now in that place of really becoming a sovereign being. And very soon you're going to see the ships coming in. And that may well be, and for many of you, I think a lot of these messages are going to be with regards to, I don't know when it's going to be, but it's the divine masculines coming in again. So when that happens, make sure you cut away what's not good anymore. Ignore the past, the bad stuff that is dead, but don't stand for any rubbish. So allow what needs to grow and really, really claim and stake your harvest, what is due for you. How do you feel towards the relationship? It's really interesting because the non-human card came out, and it's the devil. And that also came up with the magician, which is, number one, another rod. It really goes with, the 3 and the 1 is the four of wands kind of thing. And you've got the twin flame card as well. And that's the human being. And there's a lot of, it's all men. It's all men, even though this is a divine feminine reading. This is all men in this part of the reading. And there's only two females in the entire divine feminine spread. So really get into your masculine power. And it's saying really trust your mind and don't fall victim to the unconscious, to the animalistic nature, the lower nature and the old karmas. I'm also, often when I see the devil card, I think of Capricorn, which is a card that the new moon might be in Capricorn. I need to check what sign it's in. But this is also very representative of Saturn for me, and it's nothing to be afraid of, even though many, in my culture, people are really afraid of Saturn astrologically. But this is just to say, just beware of anger, beware of the old patterns, beware of the lower natures and the karmas, a lot of the things that you have tried to clear and worked so hard to kind of clear, the fears and all the rest of it. They're going to try and rear their ugly heads up for a lot of people, and it's you've got the power to rise above it. You've got the power to overcome it, and you've got the power to create something different. So just refocus your thoughts and think of what you want to create. Think of what, be like the King of Swords, be like the magician at those times. Now this card is very interesting because it's kind of it's rather than a message for any divine masculine to divine feminine or divine feminine to divine masculine. The message here is that you've got the Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. And I saw this in another reading, and it's very much to do with the divine masculine he's kind of like depending on what he's kind of going to be looking to you to lead this situation. Okay. And you can see that they are both definitely going the same way. But because she's the queen, and this is the divine masculine and the divine masculine and the divine feminine coming up in this reading, and you can see everywhere else, it's very much about the divine feminine becoming masculine and tapping into those more dominant energies and those leadership doing kind of energies. And I'm not saying you need to do anything in specifically at the moment, because this is rods, this is all about energy. You just need to be in a state of being that's much more in control and manifesting, just not having a very clear picture in your mind of what it is that you want to, what your boundaries are, what you want in this life, what you want to create for yourself. And the divine masculine will fall in line. He will fall in line to that, because that's the role of things right now. So challenge right now has been the King of Cups, and this is just very very strongly saying many people right now are finding it difficult to keep check of their emotions and really keep on top of their emotions, I should say, because look at how benevolent he looks. He's got this nice gentle smile on, very calm and stable smile on his face, and he's got his cup ready to receive, he's got his cup ready to offer, and he's generally looking very, very relaxed and very opulent. So it's about feeling like you can receive, that you're ready to handle everything that is coming your way, and also being in your heart when it comes to your divine masculine. So really do feel the love, be and think lovingly to him. What have you been doing really, really well? It's lovely to see the corresponding Queen of Cups here. So many of you have been definitely in your emotions with regard to your divine masculine, and because they were kind of like this in terms of the position on the floor, I feel like many of you are finding it hard to see, you know, how it's going to happen. They're not really seeing that it's going to happen, but you are thinking fondly of him. But some people are also a little bit too much in their emotions, and I do get a sense of, I don't want to say overbearing emotions, but for some people, but there is fear, there is a little bit of anxiety. The fact that she's clutching onto this cup with both her hands, she doesn't look that happy to me. I'm really getting she's slightly turning away. Well, she's turning completely to the side. We only see her from the profile, and she's afraid that the past. So Divine Feminines, you've done a great job of looking to the past and analysing what has happened. Look how everything on this line, all the court cards are, you know, looking backwards. So everyone's done a good job, I'm hearing, the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine, of thinking about the past. And don't give in to the fear that it's going to repeat itself, because you can create something completely different. And the challenge is seeing that happen emotionally. So the challenge is really believing that your Divine Masculine can be this King of Cups to match your Queen of Cups, even though you've done a good job of becoming the Queen of Cups. Okay, so that's the big message that I'm getting, like that fear that your Divine Masculine is not gonna live up to your desires. Underlying energies, we've got the Page of Cups, well, the Ace of Pentacles underneath that with the Page of Cups too. And below that is the Ten of Pentacles. So, I mean, it's really, really well starred that, you know, there's auspicious things to come, but it is going to, a new start is going to mean that you have to start again and build things anew. So that's a really lovely opportunity. With the Emperor, it's all about, really, again, I think I said this in my last reading, it's about becoming the CEO of your life and, you know, really deciding you're in charge of who you hire, who you fire, and who you keep on, who you train, everything. And that's not necessarily people, that's situations, that's absolutely how you conduct yourself as well. So it's about learning how to conduct yourself in a really responsible way. It's really getting comfortable in your role, comfortable in your skin, and learning how to have the vision. And what I'm really getting from this is really learning how to integrate the past and deal with it in a very, very mature way, because he's a very, very, and how to own it, realize that you were kind of responsible for it in many, many ways. And if there's nothing you can do to change it, which there isn't, you can just make the most of it and move on. So it's really coming to peace and utilizing it in the best way with the past, with your feelings, with what's gone on before, and using that information to create something better and build your empire. So that is what you are being asked to do, because this is very much about ushering in a new age. So if you like this reading, I would really, really, really like to point out right now that you can, if you feel so inclined, give me a little tip in with the PayPal link below, because quite frankly, I really, really could do with it right now. So don't feel like you have to at all, but if you would like to, I would appreciate it so, so much, because I am starting a couple of new ventures, the organic clothing, etc., which I've told you guys about. And also, if because I want to also get a couple of new decks for the channel. And the one that I want is really quite pricey, and I'm gonna have to save up for it basically. So I'm gonna crowdfund that. I'll tell you what the deck is after I get it. It will be a surprise, but it will be totally worth it. I can assure you, it's amazing. It's a very rare one, I think. I've never heard of it before. Okay, well, after that little message, I just want to wish you a very, very happy new moon. And thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for listening to this right up until the end. Many, many blessings and much love to you. And I will be back very soon. Thank you. Bye.